Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I have a deck profile for you. It is basically a like lightning Chidori um, armored Cybern Machina deck. Yeah, so here I'm just gonna go right into it and do the deck profile. So Max C, you kind of need it just to help redraw cards, keep up the speed with the opponent. I mean, some of the cool things about this deck is like once you do control the field, it's easy to kind of like keep pushing stuff back into your opponent's deck, make them like redraw bad cards and stuff like that. But if they get too far ahead, it's really difficult for you to catch up, and the deck winds up playing reactively. So one thing is you really need to like churn stuff out every single turn and be pretty aggressive. So Maxi helps you do that, helps you extend and then regain advantage. So that's why I main deck it. 3 gear frame. You search out Fortress with it. It's pretty much like my go-to opening play is just summon gear frame. Love it. Fortress, got to run it in 3. It's a really great card this format. It has 2500 attack, so that's pretty good, I think. You just, special summon it. You can like crash right into Stardust with it, kill Stardust, and you can destroy their back row, be it like a Vanity's Emptiness or whatever it is. So it's a really good card. 1 Machina Force, just because if someone runs like Deck Devastation Virus or whatever, I don't want to lose the cannon, so him. Mask Chameleon. This card's really good. It opens up a lot of really strong follow-up plays for the deck. Basically, it's a tuner, Earth. When you can't normal summon it when you have a level 5 or higher monster, so that just means that I can't summon it if I have Fortress up. But basically, I can special summon a monster with 0 defense in the graveyard, so that's Gear Frame. So normal summon it, get back Gear Frame. I mean, you can just like attack with it right there, but you can also Exceed summon with it. So you combine those two. They're both Earths, which gives you access to like this guy. You go into a bunch of different rank 4s, or you could go for Scrap Dragon or something like that. So it's a really great card, really good follow-up card. I just run it as a one-of because King of Feral Imps exists, so I could just tutor it out when I need it. Next is like Armored Cybern. Pretty much a heart and core of the deck. It's a machine, so you discard it with Machina Fortress if you draw multiples in the hand, or you just normal summon it, machine duplication it, bring out 2 more, Exceed summon for Lightning Chidori. If you don't know what this card does, basically when it's summoned, target set card your opponent controls, put it to the bottom of the deck, then I can detach to return a face-up card to the top of their deck. So yeah, comes out pretty consistently, like at least once a game, usually twice a game. You really don't need 3 though. At least in my experience, you don't need 3. Next is 2 Card Trooper. It's another machine duplication target. Also, sometimes it just helps to throw some things into the graveyard, kind of get everything set up and going. But really, it just seemed really inconsistent to run Armored Cybern without machine duplication. So that's why that's in here. And also, it's just really good, 1900 way to just run over your opponent's monsters and stuff like that. Yeah, I like it. Debris Dragon, it's amazing. It could revive Armored Cybern. So you just summon Debris, revive Cybern, go for Chidori. Really great follow-up play. You could also revive Card Trooper, go for Black Rose, but I've never done it, never needed to. Next is Cockadoodle-Doo. It's from the new set as well. Basically, the only effect, I mean, both of its effects are really good. So it has 2000 defense along with pretty much like everything else in the deck, but if there are no monsters on the field, you could special summon it as level 3. So that means that you could do level 3. You could like Synchro or Exceed. I don't have a level 6 Synchro, but you could Exceed or whatever. But it's really good because if my opponent controls a monster and I have no cards, I could special summon it as a level 4 monster. So this card's a really great way to do like a momentum shift against my opponent where, they do a big play, they got some stuff on the field, I go Cockadoodle-Doo, just summon an Armored Cybern or Debris or something like that, and then go for Lightning Chidori or whatever. So yeah, it's a really good play. 3 Pot of Duality. Sometimes you just need to dig for the pieces, get the right things going. You do want to get access to both the Machinas and the Exceeds. So Duality helps with that. Also, once you're controlling the board, you really don't need to like special summon every single turn. So it's never really dead. 3 Forbidden Lance. You really need to run 3 because Chidori only has 1900 attack. Also, since so many people are running like chainable cards, being able to just like chain Lance is gonna ensure that you get that like +1. You know, Chidori really should be lasting on the field to spin 2 face-up cards or something like that. So yeah, it's really important. You got to run 3. Also, just like in general, it's a really good card. You know, like it makes the deck. Only run 2 duplication. Since I'm running 3 duality, I figured it was more consistent this way. I only have 2 targets anyway. I was considering like Cyber Valley, you know, because Cyber Valley can be brought back with this. You could discard for that, blah blah blah. But it just added too many dimensions to the deck, and it lost consistency. So this is like the most streamlined build I found, and 2 machine duplication is enough. I have it when I need it, and it doesn't just sit dead in my hand when I don't. You know, typically, like the deck has enough plays that if I just draw a Cyburn, I can either hold it in my hand until I also draw duplication, or you know, pitch it with Fortress, revive it with Debris, Gopher, and then Machine Dupe or something like that. I mean, honestly, like pretty much like the strongest play in terms of like number of special summons is like, you know, you have no cards, you go Cockadoodle Doo, summon Debris, summon Cyburn, then Machine Dupe, and then you have out 3 Armored Cyberns, a Debris Dragon, and a Cockadoodle Doo, and then you just go bleh, all these things down here. So yeah, 3 MST, Never Dead. It's a really powerful card. Yeah, doesn't really need explaining. Dark Hole. Honestly, Dark Hole is probably like one of my least favorite cards in the deck, but I still feel like you got to run it. So yeah. Wabaku. Same kind of deal with Forbidden Lance. An earlier version of this deck didn't have enough chainable cards, so I would wind up just getting like blown out. I was testing like Swift Scarecrows and stuff like that because that gave me Naturia Beast access. But I figured Wabaku was better because on one hand it also prevents like just getting OTK'd, but I can also just like have it set with my Lightning Chidori. They go to extend. They're like, oh, Chidori's only 19, so they're not going to waste like a blaster or something to destroy him with a card effect because they're like, oh, I could just run him over. So they'll save him to destroy him during the battle phase. They go to attack. I flip Wabaku. He lives, they've extended, and then when it comes back to my turn, I'm able to use Lightning Chidori's effect for the second time, and then spin, and then just, you know, regain control. So it's a really good card. I mean, you could also like use it with Fortress and stuff if they're like, oh, I finally killed it, or something. So that's cool. Fiendish Chain, I would love to run 3, but it's been good with 2. Honestly, the traps, I mean, they're pretty much self-explanatory. Torrential is not mained just because I figured that I wouldn't really be that happy with having to Torrential when I had a Chidori or had a Fortress on the field. I'd rather let it get into the battle phase or something like that. So, you know, the Mirror Force or the Fiendishes or these cards which don't really affect my field at all, and I'd be comfortable, you know, summoning Chidori, setting Bottomless or something like that, as opposed to having to Torrential my own field. But that might change. I'd like some feedback on that. Extra deck, I mean, I just want to touch on Imperial Iron Wall really quickly. It's an amazing card if you don't know. Pretty much I always side it in. Field Barrier, it's kind of cool. This deck's kind of weak to Necro Valley. So, I mean, not that anybody plays Gravekeepers, but I ran into it one time. Also, you could just play it over, and the Spellbook players can't play their Spell Tower. And so this is pretty much like what I've been siding. Yeah, it's pretty random. I really don't side deck that much. I have the second Chameleon in the side if I want to like be more aggressive. But extra deck, 1 Zenmaines. I like this card. I mean, I've actually never summoned it, but in theory it's good. Where Xyz Encore is seeing play in extra decks, so if I go for, you know, one of my rank 4s and then they Xyz Encore and bring these guys back, then I could just go for Zenmaines, and then he floats and destroys things. So I think that's pretty cool. Also, Card Trooper is really good, and obviously you can dupe Card Trooper and hit for 3,800, but then he's just sitting there at 400, and the deck is a little bit weak to Crimson Blader just because you have Machina Fortresses and stuff. So being able to Card Trooper for machine duplications and then just overlay them for Zenmaines is it's pretty cool. At least in theory. I haven't done it yet. Yeah, 2 Chidori. You don't really need 3. Fairy Killing Alberdique. So once per turn, you can attach Nick C's. All non-Earth monsters lose 500 attack. So that means that anything that's like 24, 25, 26, or 27 becomes weaker than him. And which is pretty cool because that gets over pretty much everything. If my opponent summons something bigger like Crimson Blader or whatever, they go to attack. I have the Wabakus, I have the Forbidden Lances. Well, let's just say a Wabaku. Then next turn, I'll detach again or something like that and get it lower. So it's kind of a cool, just like alternate boss monster. Yeah. King of Feral Imps, go into him to grab this. It's kind of like the setup play. I wish he was 24, but whatever. Same thing with your Giant decks. I don't know if you just do like a crazy play like Debris and then Armored Cyburn like early in the game or something and dupe it for whatever reason, you could get that to gain access to the Machinas that way. Whatever. Photon Pop Imperative, Maestro, Gaga, Direwolf, Roach. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of needed. Black Rose, Scrap Dragon, and then Dragosack. So yeah, that's the deck. I like it. It's fun. Getting back into the game. I think it's a creative deck. It has a lot of options. It has some of my favorite cards. And so this is what I'm probably going to be testing with and stuff like that. Yeah, let me know what you think. And comment whatever changes you think you might want to make to the build if you were to do it or something like that. All right, bye.